I used to write for the New York Review regularly, but not after I became involved publicly in Israel-Palestine issues. After that, anathema, couldn't possibly. It has changed in the last year or two, strikingly. So if you read the journal now, you can read highly critical articles of Israeli policy, typically by Israeli writers. That makes it sort of tolerable. Strong article by Nathan Thrall, very, very strong article, appeared in a recent issue. All of this reflects changes in public opinion in the United States, and those ultimately reflect themselves in intellectual opinion and maybe someday in policy. That's a matter of some significance. But as Israeli policies became more and more brutal, reactionary, intolerable, what happened is that general liberal opinion, people who identify themselves as liberal Democrats, has shifted away from the almost Stalinist style support for Israel that used to exist, just reflexive, couldn't say a word. It's shifted to actually by now more support for Palestinian rights than for Israel. And it's showing up in the intellectual journals. It's showing up, not yet, but it may show up in policy. So support for Israel now in the United States used to be, Israel used to be the liberal darling, couldn't say a word about it. It wasn't just not being able to write. Meetings were broken up. I had to have police protection if I tried to talk about the topic, even in my own university. That's all changed. Now it's quite possible in these circles to be very critical of Israel.